time. So Reawakened actually knocked Kenitra Tigers out of GPL 1 with that narrow 3-2 victory. So maybe Kenitra Tigers out for vengeance here. We'll have to see which team's been practicing harder. Of course, Minpoike, we all know he's streaming very regularly on his channel, twitch.tv/Minpoike. Be sure to check him out if you haven't already. Waz and Raikou occasionally streaming. No Lifer is very well known. He's reached the BlizzCon finals twice, I do believe. And his partners here are Chaz playing that Resto Druid, Stoinkinov, and Akai Suichi, who is a sub-rogue that he's picked up recently. They actually played a little bit in the US GCD with me, and we didn't have the greatest success, but they're now playing on their low ping in Europe, and they were looking quite strong last week, unfortunately getting knocked out, like I said, by Reawakened in that close series. We'll see if they can turn it around this time, as the gates are about to open on Nagrand Arena.
Yeah, the scoreboard is incorrect, guys. Currently 0-0, so please ignore that. We can see the mages. These guys are both just very brave mages. They just run right in. Frostbolt, 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 Frostbolt. No stealth for these guys. They like to build up and have as much damage as possible. And it's an interesting play style. We're going to see who ends up coming out ahead. It seems like they're just mirroring each other Frostbolt after Frostbolt. Neither one is unmoving. It's a Frostbolt race right now. It's a snowball fight in the center of the map. And it seems like both the druids are forced to come out of stealth to get some heals rolling, as the mages were doing actually so much damage that the druids have used almost half their mana in the first 30 seconds.
Oh, and actually Waz blinded No Lifer there. That's a really big misplay from Waz. That's really unfortunate. Maybe that's going to allow Kenitra Tigers to go offensive, but it looks like they might just force the block anyway. Nice iron bar comes out from Chaz. He melds as well. Excellent meld, means that he can NS whenever he likes. The deep freeze comes down to Minpoike. It doesn't look like they can follow anything up either. Both teams doing an excellent job of mitigating CC from each other, but of course that blind is down for Reawakened. Unfortunately, was blinding up the mage. But we do see both teams kind of stay equal right now. The Heart of the Wild's out on both down 60% now. Both mages taking so much damage. Raikou might have into the block. He actually goes down. Neither mage wants to block. Both of them down on 20%. They just wanted to kill the other one. And that was a really unfortunate first game for Reawakened. Kenitra Tigers take the first game of the series.
You can see, like, how the mages stand up to each other. Like, just the start of the match, just running out and casting Frostbolt. It's like, barely, I don't know anybody. I've never seen anybody do that, but these guys are just like, it's like the Wild West, and they've got their pistols on their sides, and they just turn around and they draw, and they're like, there's no blocking in this arena. If you have to block, it means you did less damage than me. And it's interesting to see how that played out, and Kenitra Tigers are going to take a lead because of it, and Reawakened are going to have to reconsider. Well, not really reconsider, just kind of be like, I'm going to block this time. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know, like I've been in that situation as well. Like if you're a DPS and like you're meeting another DPS and both of you are being greedy on 20%, you don't want to use your defensive cooldown first, because if Raikou has to block there, then No Lifer won't have to block, because Raikou's not doing damage while he's in the block. If he cancels the block, he even risks dying. But of course, by not blocking at all, you also risk dying. So it's quite a difficult situation to be in. You're just really, really hoping that you manage to kill or force block on the other mage, just so you don't have to, so you can blink away and hold your own. It's just about being greedy. Like that little damage difference between the two teams is like, that's really decides well, the game essentially, because if one of them's forced into the block, if one of them does lose the game of chicken there, then they're just going to be a cooldown behind. So both teams playing greedy, and Raikou is the one that goes down before his block, unfortunately. So looks like we're going to get them queued up into the second game. Just getting a map choice from Reawakened right now. So
I wouldn't say any map. I don't know if these teams have like a preference on the map. I mean, there are some obvious strategy choices if they did. Like, Tolvaron Arena would allow a team that wants to run away a lot the access to run away a lot. But it seems like both these teams are fairly even and fairly similar in their strategy, so I wouldn't imagine that any other team is going to be playing a little bit more scared than the other one. So maybe something like Tiger's Peak, which is very similar to the Grand Arena that we just saw, I would expect for match number 2. They could also maybe curveball, like Blade's Edge, something like that. Actually, Tolvaron Arena is going to be the map, so perhaps on this map they're going to play it a little bit more slow, a little bit more cautiously. At least the map will allow them to do that if they so choose.
Yep, and I'm happy to say both teams, of course, sticking to their guns. Kenitra Tigers 1-0 up in the series, but of course it wasn't a particularly legitimate game. Both teams had a lot of cooldowns remaining when the kill was landed, so it'll be interesting to see on this bigger map. Perhaps it's going to be slightly slower. These two majors, like Super keeps saying, they don't hide. There are a lot of mages that would try and win the stealth war, like they're like, aha, the other guy stealthed, I can stealth 2 seconds later, I'm gonna have a slight advantage. But neither of these guys even consider that. Both of them just charge into the middle of the map every game, try and get max damage, and that does result in outcomes like that where both druids are just spamming their heals out and they just can't out heal the damage because both mages start with so much, their full icicles, their proc trinket, etc. etc. So um we'll have to see if Reawakened can pull back the series. I'm fairly confident they would have actually gone first if Waz had landed that blind onto Chaz, so that would have been good for them. But I'm sure we're going to see a different game this game.
Yep, and No Life and Raikou instantly to the middle of the map. Frostbolt duel going on in the center field, and let's see who crits more because the druid is going to have to come out of stealth. We see both druids now out of stealth, pre-hotting, getting ready for the attack from the in-stealth rogues. Waz is moving forward. He's looking for Suchi, but I think Suchi's going to see him first. Maybe. Oh, wow, he doesn't see him at all. But they're going to open up onto Stokanov in the back line. He's going to trigger that kidney shot right away. Good reaction speed from Stokanov. Now they're punishing Waz. He gets stunned on his trigger, and like I said, just as soon as any stun goes out, the game can end because there's just so much burst from everyone on the team. And I liked Stokanov's reaction, but apparently Waz just didn't see it coming.
Well, I don't know if Waz had faint up, but he actually instantly trinketed the stun from Akai Suichi and popped his shield wall, and he just died instantly regardless. He actually reacted so quickly there, but he can't have had his faint up, I think, because the damage was so high. The Ice Novas must have hit for full damage, and that's really unfortunate for Reawakened. Waz just going down there, and they've had two kind of instant losses, to be honest. Chaz acted very appropriately there, of course, with that insta trinket. He knows the damage that can come out in these RMD mirrors. We've seen it time and time again. Waz and Raikou getting a clean connection to him. He instantly trinkets and he goes for the cyclone. Raikou locks it, so you can't really fault Reawakened's play. Of course, Waz instantly trinketing and walling, but he just dies through it. Like, these games are so fast paced.
I don't even know, like, I mean, maybe it was reckless opening onto the Resto Druid. That's the only thing I can think of, but they got the trinket from him. Like, they got what they wanted to get, and then they could have set up a kill maybe with the blind on him later, onto the rogue or the mage. Like, they could have got a lot of CC with that opener. It was looking fairly good, and then suddenly Suuchi just comes out of nowhere, and this is where, like, I'm wondering if just going in stealth would be better, because the damage that the mages can do at the start, just allowing each other to cast like that, is so high. Like, they're both doing 10 times the damage of their rogues, because they're deciding to just kind of duel each other in the middle and build up all of that damage for free. So I wonder if they should just, go in stealth and wait it a little bit longer so that the RNG icicle damage isn't built up so high. They don't need to be worried about just dying in the first half second of a stun. But I mean, it's not in their playstyle, definitely. Every single match you've seen these team fights, the mages just automatically, middle of the map, you and me, Frostbolt now, and that's how it works for them. So I'm curious to see if they are going to keep doing that or not. But Tiger's Peak is the map pick. Reawakened have gone down 2 games to Kenitra Tigers in kind of a surprising fashion, just not able to trade out the cooldowns effectively, or just sometimes the cooldowns not being relevant enough. So let's see if Reawakened can pull it back. They have to win 3 games in a row now, and this is a complete turnover from last week's results. Kenitra Tigers definitely practicing, keeping their play up, and now Reawakened are the ones that need to kind of pick up their game, get ready for this, because this is their last chance.
Yeah, I completely agree. This looks really rough for them. Of course, both these teams so evenly matched. It's going to be hard for them to take 3 in a row. I do see the requests in chat for replays, guys. Unfortunately, we do lose a little bit of our production value since our main streamer is unavailable to stream it due to ISP issues right now. That will be resolved. We do hope, perhaps even for tomorrow, but certainly for next tournament. I think these replays would be quite nice to see because the gates would open at the start of the replay. These games have been so short, so cutthroat so far. Both teams using all their offensive cooldowns just to try and blow someone up. And so far, Kenitra Tigers have succeeded twice and Reawakened need to perhaps play a more conservative game. We do see the Veins coming out from No Life for a good Iron Bark as well. That's going to force the block instantly on Raikou, not making the same mistake. Can they get the sheep off that? Looks like No Life is in a really good shape right now, though. That Iron Bark from Chaz doing work right now. He's down to 70%. Maybe they're going to swap it onto Akai Suichi. The smoke bomb comes out. That's the trinket from Suichi. They're going to try kill for it. The cheap shot isn't going to be enough. A nice cyclone from Mimpoike is going to shut down Kenitra Tigers there and keep him on low HP. The deep rob comes out onto Chaz. They're swapping it over to No Lifer. This could be an ice block as well. A really nice opener from Reawakened, I feel like. The smoke bomb from Akai Suichi, they might turn it around. The shadow dance coming out, but they're not going to force anything onto Waz. A nice full sheep onto Mimpoike, actually deeping Raikou as well to shut down that CC. Well played by No Lifer, who is sitting at about 50% HP right now. Chaz is able to follow up with the cyclone. They're going to force the second block onto Raikou here. Maybe he's down to 50%. A nice NS from Mimpoike. They might keep him up. He might have to block anyways. That would be so unfortunate. A good cyclone onto No Lifer though. Mimpoike playing excellently to shut down Kenitra Tigers right now.
Now at this point, no players have trinkets. No players can remove crowd control. It's going to be very tense for the next minute, and each player needs to stay at 100% awareness, or they're just going to get bursted down instantly. We see No Lifer getting pressured, but a good Iron Bark from Stoinkhanov is going to reduce a lot of that damage. Raikou building up some icicles as well as No Lifer. We see Suichi caught into a polymorph. I'm curious who the target selection is going to be. It seems like No Lifer is the target for Reawakened at the moment, and Stoinkhanov's having a really hard time picking him back up, finally able to get him back above half HP. Waz looking for a re-stealth. What's Waz going to really get done with this is the question. Raikou, I think, is in preparation, ready to attack. He's just kind of just going at No Lifer. It's just similar to a situation as the beginning of the match, just a snowball fight in the center field, but Raikou is down one block, and, you know, to be honest, Reawakened just running away could be the correct decision, as Cold Snap will be available in another minute. So it seems like that's what they're trying to do, but they don't care. Kenitra Tigers are just going at it. Raikou could have to block. We see Waz opening up onto Suichi, now opening up onto No Lifer, but no damage just yet. Now a kidney shot onto Suichi. He seems to be fine so far, but as I say that, forced to use the Cloak of Shadows, Waz is just soloing him. Waz is going to finish him off with that killing spree, and I liked that play from Reawakened, just pulling away and baiting Kenitra Tigers in, and Waz was able to finish him off. You know, vengeance for Reawakened as they're going to take a game off Kenitra Tigers.
Yeah, like you said there, we kind of got to that reset point where neither team wanted to commit because they realized there was no trinkets available. Either rogue could easily die if the other one got opened up on, and Kenitra Tigers struck first. They went to try to get that second block from Raikou with the opener. Well, they almost forced it, but even if they had, I'm not sure if it was the correct decision, because the fact that Sushi left stealth first allowed Waz to just instantly open up to him with that cheap shot, and even though there weren't any stuns left for Ake Suichi, Waz managed to get his spree active and kill him essentially through cloak. He basically, yeah, like you said, he just soloed him in the end there. Maybe they didn't expect that damage, but that's going to put Reawakened back into this series, now 2-1 in favor of Kenitra Tigers. They are still in the lead, but the series is getting closer again.
Yeah, Reawakened, I think, looked good in that position where they said, you know, we're really disadvantaged right now. We probably shouldn't be standing on top of our opponents. Let's go and run away for a couple of seconds. And then they were able to consider their positioning, because with no trinkets, setting up a kill onto the rogue is one of the perfect options. You could even set a kill on the druid when nobody has a trinket like that. So I have a smart decision making, knowing that No Lifer would have been ahead on blocks, just switch the target to Suichi instead, and it worked out for them. So let's see if they can do it again. However, Kenitra Tigers have picked Runes of Lordaeron, and this is a pretty aggressive statement. This map is very close quarters, and I think No Lifer and Raikou are going to have some snuggles in the middle of the map. This map is so small, and it's going to be interesting to see if Reawakened can deal with the pressure that Kenitra Tigers has in the opening stages of these matches.
Yeah, I was really impressed last game by how Mimpoike was able to deal with Kenitra Tigers as well, because No Life actually used to CS onto Raikou to prevent probably a deep sheep. I can't remember exactly what it was used on. But Mimpoike, a lot of Resto Druids would just heal there and try out heal the damage onto Raikou, but he actually went for a full cyclone onto No Life for identifying he doesn't have Trinket. He's not going to want to block in this mirror like that. He could just go down for it. So excellent awareness from Mimpoike, and he actually was able to swap it onto Suichi as well. He did an excellent job last game of shutting down Kenitra Tigers when they could have potentially got a kill, or maybe the second block from Raikou. I can't remember if he was in this hypothermia, but that's the kind of thing you should be thinking about in these mirrors. Often CC is a lot more valuable than damage or healing, because if you can get that cross CC, of course you deny the other team the damage or deny them the healing depending on who you're CCing. So it's very, very important that you prioritize that. We are going to see the mages running into the middle of the map. We've seen this time and time again. Frostbolt, 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 these little snowballs flying at each other. This is They are standing right on top of each other, actually, just like you said.
It's a snuggle.
They open up onto Chaz again. The kidney is going to force the trinket out. Maybe they're going to try kill through it. The smoke bomb comes out. They're committing a lot here. Waz is getting swapped onto, though, by Akai Suichi, who's popped that evasion offensively. The Shadow Dance coming out. A full sheep onto Minpoike. They're trying to kill through, but it looks like Waz is going to be okay. I'm not sure who Smoke Bomb is who, to be honest, but it looks like this is Wise's Smoke Bomb actually forcing the trinket vanish out of Akai Suichi, and this is such a good opener for Reawakened. They forced all the trinkets from Kenitra Tigers already.
Yeah, Reawakened are looking good in this position. No Life are still down below half HP. Maybe they're going to commit to him, but it seems like Waz is caught into that kidney shot. A nice Iron Bark from Minpoike is going to reduce a lot of the damage. Well timed from Minpoike, and Waz is just looking to build up towards that red buff. Looks like he's going to blind Suchi, the rogue. I'm curious if he's going to sap him off that or make a swap. This next move could be very important for Waz. Doesn't look like he's going to get either. Oh, he gets the sap! Cheeky sap from Waz, barely getting in line of sight with that Shadow Step, and they could set up a kill on Suchi. He has no trinket. Here comes the kidney shot. Will they be able to finish him off? Snokanov uses the Iron Bark. Will that even be enough? He goes for the Nature Swiftness. I don't think it's going to be. Waz is just doing so much damage. That's going to be it. Finishing him off. And Reawakened suddenly have tied the series 2-2. Setting up a sap, that cheeky sap, into the swap, and finishing off Suchi. And now Kenitra Tigers have to be thinking like, okay, all right. You know, we kind of won 2 games, maybe a little bit cheesy. And now the games are going a little bit longer, and they're going to have to kind of find their center for a strategy because Reawakened seem to be they've found their center.
I love that setup from Wise, actually. That's a great situational awareness. He was aware they had no trinkets. He could have just put his blind onto Chaz, maybe forced a block onto No Lifer, or even tried to go on Suichi with it, but it was such a clean setup the way he played it there. He getting the full blind into the full sap, of course, on Akai Suichi means there's no feint, there's no real damage reduction. He's not able to do anything. He doesn't have his trinket when the stuns do land. Minpoike able to push in for that clone onto No Lifer, so he wasn't able to peel until really late. He actually blocked to try peel, but it wasn't enough. And there was great identification by Reawakened. They know what cooldowns they can kill through. They knew, despite the fact that Chaz did an excellent job of getting the re-stealth on the blind sap, so he would be able to get that Iron Bark, get that NS. They knew they could kill through it if Akai Suichi didn't have the feint. So good setup by Reawakened does tie up the series, and they suddenly have the momentum going into this 5th and final game of the series.
Yeah, it seems like Reawakened have this strategy that they like of opening on the Resto Druid and getting his trinket with that first kidney shot. As soon as they've got the Druid trinket, they'll stun the Rogue, smoke bomb him to get his trinket. And now in that situation, having the Druid's trinket down and the Rogue's trinket down, they're using the blind to set up a swap with no feint, and they can just 100 ult him with no feint very easily with the combat Rogue's cooldowns and saving the Ice Novas. And it looked very clean from Reawakened. That was definitely what they were going for a strategy. So Kenitra Tigers, they need to find a strategy now. Are they just going to commit to Raikou, trying to force him into a block? Like maybe they could surprise Minpoike even. Apply some pressure to him, because it seems like he's not really being pressured too much in any of these matches. He can kind of just rotate through his cooldown, sit in the back, whereas Chaz has been opened on 2 games now, so Chaz has to be prepared for that, or he's going to be forced to trinket like he was. So I'm curious to see if Kenitra Tigers are going to pull out any surprise swaps, or if they're just going to commit to the Raikou as they have been previously.
Yeah, I completely agree, and you gotta feel kind of sorry for Chaz, because these mages teeing it off in the middle does force both the rest of Druids to be out of bear form healing, because there is a lot of damage going out. Neither team wants to allow their mage to drop to 70-60%, because that's just going to be a block instantly, so they're kind of forced into this situation where they can't go into bear form, can't bear form that first kidney. I would like to see Kenitra Tigers maybe consider either going for the same play onto Minpoike, or even maybe peeling Chaz a little bit faster. I think Akai Suichi could open up onto Raikou with the Groats, maybe shut down some of the damage, maybe even use a defensive smoke bomb. It is kind of risky, but if they can hold Chaz's trinket, it may well be worth it. We do see both the mages in this nice opener, and the insta blind comes out from Sushi. They're trying to get pressure onto Raikou. The trinket comes out from Minpoike. Minpoike actually using trinket, Iron Bark, and NS to keep Raikou offensive here. Can they make it worth it? The shield wall from Akai Suichi is cycloned up by Minpoike. Well played by him. We do see the deep freeze into the blind on Chaz. He's actually choosing to sit through this. Maybe they're going to just allow No Lifer to block. The sap comes out, but it's slightly early. That's a kind of waste of CC from Waz, maybe trying to sap the trinket there. But we do see the block comes out from No Lifer, and it's a decent trade of cooldowns. We do see the block used by No Lifer, but the trinket used from Minpoike. Maybe they could do, as Super was saying, and try to get that swap onto Minpoike, but we'll have to see what they're going for. Waz uses the cloak. Now he's using the Shadow Dance. They're trying to kill Suichi. The trinket cloak comes out on that smoke bomb there. The vanish as well. Can they go offensive with this? It doesn't look like they're getting too much. Minpoike just kind of sitting in that form, avoiding any opportunities that Reawakened might try set the Kenitra Tigers might try set up here, and the Shadow Dance from Akasuichi kind of goes to waste.
I mean, they did get Waz's trinket, and now Stokanov still has his. So I would say that Kenitra Tigers are in a good position to set up a kill on Waz, set up a kill on Minpoike, maybe force the final block from Raikou. It seems like they're cloning up Raikou, and it looks like Minpoike is trying to read Kenitra's strategy by pre-Iron Barking Waz, but that means that Kenitra Tigers can just hold on to their damage. We see No Lifer, though, getting punched very hard, has to block down at 15% HP with only a kidney shot as crowd control for Stokanov, and Stokanov is being fairly greedy here. He doesn't want to overlap Trinket with block. I don't blame him, but he might need to as the Ice Block is faded and No Lifer is getting pursued after. They could even swap to Suichi. I don't think they will, though. Raiku's looking to finish him off. A defensive deep freeze used onto Waz to just try and keep himself alive here. Stokanov holds on to, actually didn't even hold on to his trinket. Minpoike gets a game-winning clone. No Lifer could easily go down here. As soon as Raikou leaves that clone, he's just going to finish him off. Ice Nova into Ice Lance. Death from above connects, and Stokanov is in desperation, just spamming heal after heal to keep No Lifer alive. We see Raikou blocking for the kill to finish off No Lifer. Will he have enough damage to do it? Because if he doesn't, they might be able to turn it around onto Raikou. No Lifer is hanging in there. He's going to survive, I think. Stokanov is just spamming still. Waz is just doing so much damage. No Lifer is barely clinging on to life. We see a full blind onto Waz, and that should immediately stop the damage onto No Lifer. Let's see if they can pressure Raikou here, because Raikou aggressively blocked, and it looks like they're going to be able to turn it around. Minpoike sports a trinket, but he gets polyed on his trinket into a full clone. Nice defensive plays from Waz, though, blinding Suichi, pausing the game, but No Lifer is just soloing Raikou. Does he have enough damage to do it? Doesn't look like he does. It looks like they're setting up some damage onto Suichi. A very close call for both teams, and Raiku's still not out of the woods, down at half HP. Minpoike just spamming heal after heal, trying to retreat back and reconsider their strategies, as both teams really are running on fumes for cooldowns.
Yeah, and that's the second time Waz has actually put the gouge onto Chaz. That's kind of unfortunate for Reawakened, because if they don't get the kill with it or force a cooldown, then it puts him on the sheep DR. We do see the deep now. If he does land the rob, that will be DR. An excellent blink from No Lifer does deny that. Actually, I think it was the kick from Akasuichi, so both of them able to stop that if they wanted to. No Lifer looking quite healthy. That was the Iron Bark use. We see that the block is almost back up for him, actually. In 15 seconds, Raikou, of course, holding onto that snap. He will have a block, and he does use the snap now. So both teams basically are resetted, with the trinket not up for Minpoike for quite a while, but Akasuichi's trinket's also down for a long time. We'll have to see how they choose to play this one, because both teams know that both mages have a block. Both druids are actually kind of low on mana, which could be significant considering this game's been going on quite a while. We do see them opening up onto Raikou, though. The Icy Veins deep does not follow it up with a sheep, though. We do he actually gets the Rov, but unfortunately it might break from the Garrote bleed. They'll have to hope that doesn't happen, but Raikou is forcing so low. It does break, but it's too late. That will be the ice block from Raikou. Can they counter go with this? We do see the Icy Veins coming up, but an excellent gouge from Akasuichi just before the Cyclone from Poike is going to shut that down. No Lifer is now dropping kind of low. Stoinkov, of course, low on mana. He's up to 70%. He's kiting away. He did steal the Veins back. Another gouge onto Chaz from Waz. They need to get a cooldown with this. The Ironbark and the NS is probably going to deny it, though. Nice enough before that kidney. They do get the block anyways. The DFA securing it from Waz. And now both teams don't have any blocks available for such a long time, but both druids essentially do have trinkets up.
I mean, the next setup could be the game. Raikou caught into the smoke bomb. Minpoike pre-Iron Barked the smoke bomb. That Iron Bark is the only thing that kept Raikou alive. I think he would have easily gone down there, but a nice Cyclone from Stokanov is going to pause the healing. Minpoike has NS up. Are they going to be able to spell steal it off? He's just running around trying to get the NS. He stole the NS. No Lifer peels it off. I think they're going to be able to finish off Raikou. He's down below half. Minpoike trinkets into another sheep. Waz is caught into a Cyclone. Suichi goes for the Shadow Dance. He should be able to get the kill. All they have to do is connect. A full blind on Minpoike. What is Raikou going to do? He's trying to turn around counter pressure, but I don't think he has enough damage to do it. And Raikou is going to fall down at 4%, barely hanging on to life. Minpoike trying to pick him up. He's going to keep him alive. They're turning this around now onto No Lifer. No Lifer down below half HP. Do they have enough damage to finish him off? Waz goes for the death from above, but a clone over onto Raikou should pause the damage here momentarily, but the druids are running out of mana. They just can't keep it up. And S comes out from Stokanov. No Lifer is barely still alive. He goes for the aggressive blink. He goes for the deep. He connects the ring. It's a 3v1 onto Raikou. And once again, Raikou has to pull off a miracle to survive. He's trying to defensively sheep. I don't think he's going to be able to get it. A full kidney shot over onto Stokanov. He's going to trigger that right away. He doesn't want to throw the game. Still, both teams in a lot of trouble. Raikou down below 30% HP. How's he going to stay alive? Minpoike caught into the poly. Caught into the clone. Kidney shot over onto Waz. Raikou on the run once again. And this Iron Bark might be the only thing, maybe enough, not enough to keep him alive. And despite being so far behind, Kenitra Tigers are going to turn it around in game number 5 and take the series.
There was some serious PogChamp moments during this game. I can't believe how well both the Resto Druids played it in so many situations. First, we have the pre-Iron Bark from Impoki, then we have the excellent Cyclones from Chaz that allows them to spell steal the NS, and that was actually so significant, even heading into the end of the game. Then we did have the moment where Waz almost kills through Chaz's healing. Chaz, of course, was completely dry on mana, and that the fact that he was dry almost landed them the kill on no life. Even without CC, he was down to about 5% with that killing spree. So unfortunate for Reawakened. Both teams could have easily taken that last game, and that was easily the closest game of the series, and a well-fought game to decide a 3-2 in favor of Kenitra Tigers, and that's actually going to put them through to the upper bracket where they will go against Trojagen. And that should definitely be an interesting game to watch. I don't think we actually saw that